actually a really fun game until the final 2 minutes. And I don't want to like lose my mind over it, but
it was embarrassing.
It was horrible.
It was embarrassing.
It was completely unacceptable. And look, we can talk about the shot clock thing. That didn't even trigger me as bad as the 2 back-to-back reviews.
Oh my God.
The 2 because to me, like at that point, I was already exhausted because of the back-to-back reviews when it comes to the shot clock. First, the LeBron one. Look, I'm not trying to like cape up for LeBron. I'm not 100% sure if you call it a 3 in real time, when you go to review it, can you definitively say that his heel was flush to the ground and it was out of bounds? I don't know. Like everybody who has a shoe, lift your shoe up and like you look at the heel and the toe are bowed. They always kind of like go up. It's
right.
So I didn't know that his foot was down. And then on the Draymond thing, like that took forever. All right. Then there's the Draymond review after the jump ball which we kind of slept on it. Like Jackson Hayes, you got out jumped by Wiggins.
Yeah, no doubt.
After you were talking all that smack.
And Jackson Hayes has hops.
Yeah.
He could dunk too, man. He had some nasty dunks.
I was just going to say, he nasty dunks. Well, Draymond's going like out of bounds, and he's going to fire it off of Austin Reeves. Is that who he fired it off?
Yeah. Yep.
I want to say. And like they're in a pause, and they're reviewing his feet. And I'm not 100% sure his foot was conclusively on the line.
Right.
For the exact same reason that LeBron's foot, I wasn't 100%. So the whole thing, just common sense needs to prevail. And this is where there's an in-game element where all the guys are saying, you saw Curry, like, come on, man, let's go. Steve Kerr's like, come on, let's go.
One thing I was worried about with all the delay, and by the way, in real time, the last 2 minutes took 23 minutes and 27 seconds. We were waiting in the control room to go on for the post-game show, and Shasky was a little ahead. He goes, dude, we got another review. And so finally, I just went to the control room and was just sitting with them because I was like, I need to know the live feed. Let's just, like, I'm not going to sit, but the fact that it was 23 minutes and 27 seconds that we're waiting around. And one thing that went to my brain immediately was, boy, what if somebody strains a hamstring from just being out here and tightening up? What if somebody gets hurt? What if somebody, after all that running, start, stop. What if something happens here in the last 2 minutes because of this long delay? And then finally you decide we're going to keep the shot clock on the floor. We should have done that right away. I remember Pop Warner football, high school football, college. The clock goes out. They convene for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to keep the time on the field. Let's go.
But the shot clock thing, it happened in the first half. And then it happened, I believe, in the third quarter because LeBron jumped off the bench and was like, yo, the shot clock, because it like got stuck on 14 or whatever. Like it happened throughout the game. It was, I couldn't believe
how bad that was. It almost ruined a great basketball game.
Well, and here's the other thing. The guys put the headset on, the NBA referees, when they're reviewing anything, and we don't get to hear anything. It's just a dude staring off into a screen. It's like, this needs to be page, text, whatever, into that guy's hip pocket, and let's keep it moving. To me, again, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, 30 seconds. If it takes longer than 30 seconds, roll with what was called on the field.
No.
I don't want to. This whole thing is out of control. Steve Kerr alluded to it.
Yeah, here's Steve Kerr. I was just about to go there. Here's Steve Kerr on the bizarre situation with the clock.
It was bizarre. It was bizarre. I mean, it seems like a few times a year you get clock issues. That's about as extreme as I've ever been a part of, where the backup unit doesn't work either. And it's unfortunate. I felt bad for the fans. That was a great game. And all of a sudden, the last 2 minutes, it's, everyone's just kind of looking at each other, wondering what to do.
And then here's Kerr on how he doesn't like the replay review process.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of replay. I think we should have replay just for buzzer beaters, and that's it. I mean, we don't, the whole goal is, with replay is to try to get everything right. But, there's 100 plays at each end every night that are subjective. It's not it's not tennis. It's not Hawkeye where the ball's either in or out. It's there's all kinds of subjective stuff that happens. We're never going to get everything right. I think the flow of the game is way more important.
I agree with that 100%. 100%. Here's Stephen Curry on this situation because I haven't heard from Steph yet. This is the first time I'm going to hear this one.
It was weird because every time, I don't know why we had the hope that we did after maybe the second one, but every time they put the ball in, we're like, all right, we're good. And then 2 dribbles and the whistles came back. So I never seen anything like that in my 15 years because usually there's like a backup plan of a secondary clock or something. So thankfully, it was only, a minute and some change, minute 50 left. And once they did get the ball back and play, 2 possessions, and we kind of sealed the deal from there. But definitely weird. I watch a lot of golf. I don't know if they did like that playing through thing where you see the commercials running and they're just waiting for the game to come back, but it's probably not the greatest for TV.
Not the greatest for television. It was definitely not the greatest for television. Not the greatest for the fans.
So
and all those celebrities sitting courtside. You got Bad Bunny. But seriously, you're trying to cater to all these crowds and all these fans.
Yeah, Bennifer there. Come on.
Yeah, Bennifer.
What was he wearing?
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. I don't know what it was.
Ben Affleck now, actually.
But Kim Kardashian, you got all these celebs there. You got all the fans there. You got people maybe going to their first NBA game thinking, what the heck is going on here? That's the wrong, out of all places to have a delay. LA's the wrong place to have a delay.
But so you reference the celebrities. I don't care about the celebrities. Let's just say you're average Joe. Okay, the average Joe going to the game. You're taking your son or your wife or whatever. You spent probably premium money. It's Lakers Warriors. It's a Saturday night. And that's what you're going through as you're in the arena. And most people don't have Twitter like you and I. Because anything that happens at a game when we're there live, what do?
Right.
We jump to Twitter to find out what's going on.
Right.
They're not really announcing what the hell's going on. And so the people that are in the audience paying premium money are like, why would I ever want to go to a game again when I'm not being told at the game what's going on? I'm missing replays. I'm missing, the announcers talking about it. And then on the couch, I'm sitting there and I'm going, how does Mike Breen, Doris Burke, and JJ Redick not know the rules? You can't review Draymond traveling or not on this play. It's either inbound or out of bounds.
Well, you know what?
I kind of looked at Mike Breen a certain way, and I think he's an excellent broadcaster, but you have to know the rules.
Well, no, but see, here's the thing.
What's that?
We sit back in the studio at NBC Sports Bay Area, Mully and I and Fezzi and Monty Poole. Hell, we don't know how the rules half the time because the NBA changes them so much.
Well, there's something to be said for that. You're right.
So there's the clarity of these rules. It's not clearly defined. The take foul, clear path. What if somebody fouls somebody 80 feet away from the rim? Isn't that a take foul?
Well, the out of bounds.
You know what I'm saying?
The out of bounds one that led to some dispute was Jackson Hayes and Wiggins. Was it those two?
Yeah.
Where it's not whoever touches it last; it's who causes it to go out of bounds.
Right.
That's a very confusing one too.
I mean, so these rules are confusing. Take fouls, charges, blocks, last 2 minutes of a game. Can you do this? Clear pass, take foul. We're confused about the rules.
Yes.
So it's hard for me to blame Doris Burke, JJ Redick, and especially Mike Breen, who's on top of everything, about the rule book. The rules change. They've changed the rules midway through the season. Midway through the year, they've already changed. We're seeing less foul attempts. We're seeing less free throws now. They had the lowest amount of free throws in the month of February, 19.3. That was the lowest amount of free throws in a month since I believe the 80s. I got to get the stat down. I wrote it down somewhere. But
I'm here for less free throws.
I'm here for that, but they don't. It's no consistency.
No,
with
that
the
I
rule
agree
book.
with. I mean, but Rick Barry's been talking about this for a decade. They adjudicate the regular season one way, and then come playoff time, you're allowed to maul a guy off ball. I mean, every year you'd see Klay Thompson and Steph Curry with huge scars on their shoulders because they're getting clawed coming off of screens. The part that really sucks is after the action finally resumed, Steph picked the pocket of LeBron James, and we're not talking about that enough.
Yeah, exactly, because we all forgot. We were like, wait, they're playing again? Game was over.